Video time. So recently on a video on the SP404, I did this beat here, which I'm gonna have to go in and unmute everything so give me 1 second. Oh, that was weird because I'm holding my phone. But anyway, this is the beat right here. Okay, I was doing my little rant. Then I started thinking, let's go ahead and do some of the things that I know I can do on the on the field. Let's try some of them out. And the first thing I wanted to do was record into it and out of it to see. And boy, was I shocked, because I don't remember, and maybe because I didn't keep the OP-1 initially, the first one, that I never really tried this, but it's so much fun recording just directly in. Now this is a line in, you can see over here, I just plugged the straight line in and I sent it from the SP's headphone out. The reason I didn't send it over here is because I'm actually using these into the sound card so I can hear the track more clear, but it worked. So check it out. I did the kick and snare and the hi-hats on their own tracks. I did the sample on the main track. So if you're just doing a 4-track sample where it's just drums and maybe a dope sample that has the bass included in the sample, and you're just chopping it up and using that, that's the sample. I just took and did each track. You can see if I go through each track. This is the kick, snare, hi-hat. This is the sample itself. So I can shift, shift here. Mute these, right? Now it'll just play the sample. Then bring them back in. Yep. So this is a 4-track, right? You can do that. Let's say my method, I've been thinking about it. My method is, because this thing beat matches, which I didn't realize or didn't fully grasp that sense of it, maybe because I didn't keep the other one long enough, that if you look right here, it says it beat match. So if you play something in, it'll try to catch the timing. So this beat was done at 83. I played it in and it picked 83.5. And then I turned around and just adjusted the 5 because I knew it was 83 because it's my own beat, which is fine. But I was impressed. Just the fact that it would beat match, which means I could probably play a song into it and get a close enough tempo, like somebody else's song maybe that I like, that I'm inspired by, and get a close enough tempo to make my own song off of that. Check this out. So that's that, right? I'm back to the tape reel. So let's say, okay, well, a lot of the complaints, and I was one of those people, I'm still one of those people that would like to see it have at least 8 tracks. But here's my thing. Though it has 4, what could I do to fix that? Well, you can scrub through the tape. Let's see. Right? And that could be a loop. Let's say that's one loop. So then you could take that loop, and I believe, if I'm right, you can record that loop as a solo out and then add over the top. So what I mean by that is, let's say you have a phone and you have Koala. You could take Koala or some other device, record that into Koala as a single track, bring it right back in as a reference, and place it further on the tape. Then take that and start building other parts over that, maybe like a lead, a solo, or whatever you want to do. And then take those parts and then send all your parts out of the OP-1Field into a DAW, into Koala, whatever you want to do, or into wherever you want to sequence and arrange your tracks. AUM, doesn't matter, it's up to you. But the flow is endless. I mean, what you can do. Now, I did this on the regular tape that's there. Of course, you have cassette, you have other tapes, 4 tapes in here. The only reason I didn't use other tapes is they can get pretty gritty. And I'm sending it out of the SP with already a compressor on it. So I didn't want the track to be too nasty, where it's almost somewhat unuseful in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Some people love it that dirty, but I can't do that. But anyway, so there you have it. That's what you can do. I'm starting to figure out workflows and think of ideas. The more I play with it, the more I'll get to understanding what I'm going to do and what changes. I'm also getting, you'll see this probably toward the end of the month. I'm waiting on this. I'm trying to get a case, not just a case. I actually want to like I have with the SP, which I've seen it before, a deck saver. So I want a deck saver on there, but I want the ability for this to sit up like this. So I ordered these, this guy who makes these custom 3D print legs for the OP-1Field, and I want to use that so that I can hold it up just enough where when I play it, it's not flat. And there's nothing wrong with it being flat, but I kind of like it up a little, just to tilt on it a little. And you guys have seen me use this for the SP, where I have it sitting at a slight tilt. I don't know, it's something good for me when I'm drumming or even playing like a little piano. I need a little tilt, especially because I sit low. You can't see me obviously, but I sit a little bit lower than my table. And that's for the purpose of my computers right here. And it's really hard. If I sit too high up, then I got my neck cramped down trying to look at this computer. And yes, I have it tilted all the way, almost all the way. But if I go any higher, it gets ridiculous. So I'm trying to find my little work path that makes it work for me. Anywho, my thoughts on this is incredible. And I'm just barely touching the surface of what you can do with it. So this means what I'm learning is I want to put the OP-1Field mixed in with this puppy right here, the SP404, one of my favorites, into my favorite dog, which is the Ableton right now, right? So I'm going to use all of those at some point. I'm just trying to see how I can get it to flow the best. And I think the easiest way is to send the OP-1, if I'm going to do this, send the OP-1 into the SP, since the SP is an audio interface. But I will say this thing can connect to an audio interface. And you can use an audio interface because you'll see guys using the TX6, which is a mixer. Well, I'm not going to buy a mixer because, I mean, if you look on here, if you go to this right here, this is the mixer. It's 4 channels on this mixer. So unless you're putting in something else to that mixer, maybe you could throw the SP through it and then use that in the mixer too, as a fifth thing. But I think it's only 6 channels anyway. So for me, that is not something that, I'm not saying it's not something I don't want to try. It's just something I don't know if I would need it for the workflow I'm kind of going with. Now, if I was gone somewhere and I didn't want to take this beautiful laptop, then I might feel like differently about that. But at this present point, this is kind of my vibe. I'd rather do it as much as I can on the OP-1 or the SP and the OP-1. And for just reference purposes, I'm trying not to put it too close to the edge. You'll see the size of the OP-1 is about the length of it. Sideways is about the length of the SP. It actually may be maybe a little bit longer, just a little bit. And then the width of it, well, you can see that's really thin. It's like thinner than the MacBook Pro closed. The brand, the Pro chip ones closed. It's pretty small, guys. Let me just put it to you that way. And on top of that, the SP is not that big either. So you could technically go both of these items together and it would be pretty good. Now, I am not telling you go out and get the OP-1Field or the OP-1, whatever. But this is just what I'm showing you, my little workflow and what I like. I don't have any other synthesizer other than stuff inside of a computer. And you can use that too. It works just fine. You can sample that into the SP404, which is what I tend to do. But this is just something I always wanted to use. It's not a necessity. It's just a nice luxury piece that I actually like a lot. So again, if you're watching the video, don't get discouraged thinking, oh, I don't want to watch his videos because he's using the OP-1 and it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive. No, you don't need to have it. You could get the older one if you want for even cheap used. They're really still good. The sound, some of the sounds are the same. It's just not in stereo. But you don't even need it. You could do honestly with a phone. Like you can use the iPhone and do it, or the iPad, and get all the sounds from there and generate. So anyway, enough of that talk. Just wanted to show you what I'm looking at. And I'm still working on learning this thing. It's not like I'm going to have everything down that fast. It really takes some time to get it. So Anywho, that's it. I'm out. Just another video with showing you my workflow as I gradually figure all this stuff out and what to do. All right, I'm off.